What is going on, y'all? Xavier here, and today I am back with another Make Academy lesson. If you're just joining us, I'm documenting my journey from complete beginner to running my own AI business. I'm following a 3-phase plan to get me there, but it all starts with mastering workflow automation. That's why we're speeding through these lessons. We're still in the middle of the intermediate section. Last video, we got to see some cool new functions like get and sort. Today, we're gonna be looking at a new function, one that if combined with the get function can be a very useful way to retrieve data. If you want the full breakdown of my business plan, I'll put that video up there as well as in the description below. But without further ado, let's get into today's lesson. All right, so here we are in our course. We're in unit 2, the map function. So let's get right into this introduction. Welcome to the second unit of the using get and map functions course. Let's build on the knowledge from unit 1. You've looked at the get function, which returns a value from an array. You'll be introduced to a new function in this unit that works really well with get, the map function. By the end of this unit, you will know what the map function does and why this differs from get, and how to use map to simplify an array. All right, I'm gonna click next. Apologize if you guys can hear these dogs barking in the background. What is the map function? Map is an array function that allows you to extract values from an existing array and then transform them to create a new array. It will always return an array with either a single or multiple elements and no longer a collection. Every item in the function contained between parentheses will form the basis of what you want the function to achieve. This will be composed of an array, what you want to get, a filter name, and a filter value. Think of this as saying array A, give me the value of the item B, where the item name C has the value of D. Let's look at this in more depth on the next page. Okay, so it seems like this little ABCD is the structure of the map function, similar to how we had a specific structure for the sort and get functions. It says that the map function is an array function that extracts values from existing arrays and transforms them into new arrays, and will always return an array, not a collection. All right, so let's click next. What is the map function? Think of the map function like a filter combined with an array aggregator, which behaves differently. A filter will pass bundles through your scenario between modules based on the criteria that you set. An array aggregator will create a new array based on the conditions that you set within the aggregated fields box. The map function performs a similar action as both of these at the same time, creating an output based on the specific fields in the input. Okay, so map function is like a filter combined with an array aggregator. Let's click next. The map function usage. The two main reasons of using the map function alone is to simplify and filter the values of an array. By default, map will always simplify the array, but the filter part is optional. Let's explore the following scenario and see where the map function could be useful. Arthur runs a sports shop online selling football kits and wants to create an array to organize his data by item types. The items listed in the array of each of his clothing items are team name, size, color, sleeves, in stock, and barcode number. Let's look at the two main uses of the map function. All right, so we have these two images for the two uses of the map function. First is simplify. In this example, Arthur wants to simplify the values of his array, so he has a summary of each kit. Using map clothing semicolon team name, his array will go from this, which shows all of the items, team name, size, color, sleeves, in stock, barcode, to this, where it only shows the team name. All right, then we have the other use for the map function, which is to filter. Using the filter option, Arthur could choose to use map clothing semicolon team name semicolon in stock semicolon true to create an array that would show only the array items that reflect the in stock equals true status. For example, if 6 of the 12 items he sold were in stock, his array would appear like this, right? So in this map function, we're filtering the team name and if it's in stock. So that's why they're showing 6 in stock, because all 6 of these have a true pertaining to the in stock portion of the function. Okay, I'm gonna click next. How is mapping different from using a filter? Let's look at the actions a filter and the map function will achieve. All right, so we're looking at the difference between filtering and mapping. So first I'll click on the filter. A filter is used between modules when bundles are moving along a scenario. It will pass only the bundles that meet the criteria set on the filter, e.g. if color equals black, pass through. The structure and contents of the bundle remain the same. All right, then we have the map function. The filter aspect of the map function acts differently. It will look at each element in the array based on the criteria that is set and then map any matching elements into a new simple array. This is really useful within scenarios as you may have a lot of complex arrays which contain information that you don't need and you want to work with simpler arrays. Note that the filter part of map is optional, right? So filters don't change data, they just filter it. They check for criteria. If criteria is met, it's passed to the filter. Mapping can take data if it is matching those elements put forth in the mapping function, in the map function, then it will take those elements and then put them in a different array with only those elements instead of everything. And the filter portion of the map function is optional. Okay, click next. Activity, the map function. Let's see this in action using the same JSON used in the previous unit. The aim of this scenario is to create an array using the map function, which will output two separate variables based on the criteria that you set. Before you start, select how you would like to build this. All right, so I usually build them out myself, but since we're using the same JSON as the previous unit, I'll use the blueprint so we can just see how easy it is to just take the blueprints for scenarios and just, configure them ourselves. So I'll click on use a blueprint for the scenario. You can download a zip or a JSON version of the blueprint that you'll use for this exercise. Create a new scenario, then click the three dots to import the blueprint. This loads a single pre-configured module, parse JSON. This will contain the details of the order. Okay, so yeah, we're literally just putting this JSON in as the first module so we can have data to manipulate. Okay, so I don't know where this damn file went. It doesn't pop up when I try to put it in there. So I guess I will just go back to the previous slide so we can build the scenario ourselves. Create a new scenario and name it Make Intermediate 2-2. Click on the Add Module, search for JSON module, and then select Parse JSON. Ignore the data structure field and click on the JSON string field. Click here to copy the JSON and paste it into the JSON string field. All right, so I don't know why the blueprints aren't showing up in my computer files, but like they show up here, in my downloads, but for some reason when I try to import it, it doesn't show up. So either I'm dumb and I don't know where to find it, or it's bugging. So I'm just doing this way instead. So I'm gonna click on this JSON to copy it. We're just adding a parse JSON module and naming it Make Intermediate 2-2. So create a new scenario, rename it, and then we're adding our JSON module in the JSON string, pasting our JSON. Save it, and we'll save the scenario. Next slide. Right-click the module and select Run this module only. This will generate the bundle that will be used for the map function. Add a new module to this. Search for tools and then select the Set Multiple Variables module. All right, so let's get our data. Right-click, run this module only. Then we can add our new module, which will be in Tools. And then we're getting Set Multiple Variables module. Next slide. Click Add Item. This will create a new variable. Type List of black items under variable name. In this scenario, the aim of the map function is to provide a list of all of the black items from the order. Start by either typing map open semicolon or inserting map from the functions for working with arrays tab. Okay, so we're just adding our name, which is list of black items, and then the beginning of the map function. So let's do that. Add item, variable name, list of black items, And then for variable value, we can type it out and it'll just give us the function, or we can go into the functions for working with arrays and get the map function right here. But I'll just type it for us so we can see it. Map, open parentheses, and see how it turns into a function. Next slide. After map, add the shopping basket items. Add a semicolon and type item name. Remember that with these array functions, you do not map the field, but type the raw name. This tells the function that you want to display the item name. Add another semicolon and type item color. Add another semicolon and type black. Close the function with the closed parentheses. We will explore the rationale behind this function type on the next page. All right, so we need to map the shopping basket items, semicolon item name, semicolon item color, semicolon black. So we're going to type this function in our variable value here. So under shopping basket, we have our items right here. I'll just click that. We need a semicolon. Then we need the item name. If we click on this little arrow next to items, we can see the item name's raw name is item underscore name. Another semicolon. We need to type item color, and its raw name is item underscore color. Another semicolon, and then our filter value, which is black. Don't forget to close the parentheses and save it, and save the scenario. Next slide. Click run once to execute the scenario to see the result. The scenario will parse the JSON into a bundle containing a collection, shopping basket, with items, an array. The map function will search the items array and create a new array containing the item's name and the item color for any items that contain the word black. This is the map function in action. Click next to view a more in-depth look at the structure of this function. All right, so let's run the scenario. See if we did it right. Run once, and let's look at the result of the set multiple variables module. Our output here says list of black items in an array. If I click on that, we have two items, one t-shirt with print and two sports socks. It doesn't say black here, but if we go into our JSON module and open up the output of the shopping basket, the items, and then look at all of these collections here, we'll be able to see which items are black. And it says that the t-shirt with print is black, and it says the sports socks are black. No other item in here is black, so it appears that this list of black items is correct. And then now, of course, if we open up a new module and look into our mappable items, we'll see the list of black items here. I'm gonna click next. Map structure. Let's delve into what is happening within this function. All right, so we have these different sections to click on. I'm clicking on map. The function starts with map. Every item contained between the parentheses will form the basis of what you want the function to achieve. This will be composed of the mapped item from the array, the key for filtering, and the possible values for filtering. The properties within map are separated with the semicolon. Right, so similar to the other layouts of other functions, it's the function with parentheses and semicolons to separate the properties. Then we have shopping basket items. This is the mapped field from the array that we want to filter from. Notice that instead of shopping underscore basket, the mapped array is shopping underscore basket dot items. The dot reflects the position of the mapped array within the collection. Okay, so I think it's just saying if it was just shopping basket, it would give us, everything that's in the shopping basket, which is the date, the items, the order ID, total price, all of this. But us putting dot item represents what we actually want. If we didn't put the items, we would get all of this information that's in the shopping basket. The next step specifies the key. The key dictates the values that will form the output array. In this example, it will display all of the values of item name, which meet the item color condition of black. The results will be t-shirt with print and sports socks. If item name was changed to item price, the result would instead display 20 and 9. Remember, the key has to be typed based on the raw name rather than mapping the item itself. All of the raw name values are case sensitive. Then we have item color. After the key is the key for filtering. Remember that the main purpose of map is to simplify, whilst the filter aspect is optional. If the purpose of the key is to show item name as a result, then the key for filtering is the condition. The condition used in this example is item color. This is similar to using a filter and saying if key for filtering equals black. Note that the key for filtering values must be an exact case sensitive match. Same as the key, we have to use the raw name if we want to filter it correctly. Then we have black. The last part of the function is the possible values for filtering. In this example, we are asking for any item color that matches black to be created in the new array. You can add more values for filtering here by adding a comma between the values for filtering. For example, black, comma, white. Cool. So we can also filter out other things like on top of each other. Like we don't have to only use one function to filter out one item or one color. And I don't know if it's like the same as the filter where you have to meet all of the criteria. Like it has to be black and white for it to pass through, or if it would filter out both black stuff and white stuff. I know that sounds super confusing out loud, but I hope that makes sense. I'm not sure if it will do one or the other. I mean, we could try it maybe in a different video, but yeah, didn't really make that too clear. I'm gonna click next. How is map different from get? All right, so we have the two buttons here. I'm gonna click on get. Get extracts an item from the list. In this example, it is getting the fourth item in the array and outputting it into a collection. Then we have map. Map provides a simple array. In this example, it is mapping all black items. Right, so get extracts an item from the list. Map provides a simple array of items from the list that you specify. I'm gonna click next. And that's the end of the unit. Says here, remember that the map function allows you to extract values and transform them into a new array, simplify or filter an array into a new array, and you need to manually type the items into the function rather than map them. Right, so good stuff today. The map function. Big differences I see are that it creates a new array from your existing array, while the get function just puts it in a different collection, and the map function can filter out stuff, while the get function can only really just get what you're asking for. The map function can basically take more information into account when grabbing the items that you're looking for. So both of these seem pretty helpful, but it seems that using both of these, the get and the map function together, is the way to optimize our use of them in our scenarios. So we will be talking more about that in the following units. The next unit we have in this course is unit 3, which is the get and map functions. Probably talking about, the differences between them and, why these two functions are good together. And then in the fourth unit, we'll be getting into different use cases for using them together. So if you're looking forward to that, please stay tuned for the next video. I appreciate you guys for watching. If you found any of this stuff interesting, please feel free to drop a like, comment your thoughts, or hit that subscribe button. That's gonna be it for me for today. Hope you guys are all doing well. I'll see you in the next one.